Well, good morning. All right. Uh, my son has requested me to tell this story and get it recorded, and it's the story of Old Thunder. um, Back in, I think it was around 94 or 95, I was working for my buddy Gary Hornsby, and he had several trucks, and his oldest one that he had was a old, I think it was a 75 Peterbilt, and it had been a show truck for Selland Auto Transport up in Seattle. And then they retired it, and Gary bought it, and it had Old Thunder written on the side of it. And man, she was a go-getter. But I started out with working for Gary with. I've never cared what truck I drove or anything like that. I didn't need shiny or nothing like that. As long as I can make money, it's all I ever cared about. But he had several trucks. He had his best truck was a big, pretty extended hood Peterbilt, with big sleeper on it and stuff. And just a real nice truck. And he had a husband and wife team that drove that one, and they took good care of it and everything. And then I was in, I think I was in like an 85 Peterbilt, and not a bad truck, just wasn't as pretty and nice and sweet as the other one was. But like I said, it didn't bother me. And then his oldest truck was Old Thunder. She was 75 Peterbilt, and he had a fella driving it. Well, something happened with the husband and wife team. The wife ran off with some other truck driver. Something happened. Anyway, they split up, and then he went chasing her, and so that truck was empty. So Gary said, well, I'm going to bring you in, Dennis, put you in that, because I know you'll take care of it. And I said, okay, that's fine. So I was coming into the yard there, and just walked in the office, and Gary's dad, old JC, who's a character. Maybe I'll tell some stories about him later on. But he said, there comes Dennis. He can drive a set of sticks. That was the thing about Old Thunder. She had a set of twin sticks in it. And even at that point, folks hadn't seen that very much, and didn't really know how to drive it. And the guy that he had driving it was the only guy that other than me, that could drive them. And that guy ended up going to jail, evidently. Well, when I come walking in, old JC said, well, there's Dennis. He can drive a set of sticks. I said, yeah. And so instead of getting that penthouse truck, I got the outhouse truck, the oldest truck. It really wasn't an outhouse truck. But anyway, so that's how I ended up in Old Thunder. And now Old Thunder, she was a runner, man. I mean, she could flat run. She was a little long in the tooth and all that, but she could run. And Gary's dad, JC, knew how to tune them old Cumminses to get them to run. And he was an artiste with that. But anyway, so one time I'm up, I'd loaded up in Ontario, Oregon, potatoes. I loaded a load of potatoes, and they're always heavy. And so I'd loaded this load, coming back down. I was going to LA, going into LA with it, and coming down I-5, and coming up on two trucks. And now the speed limit in California is 55 for trucks, and will always be. But back then the speed limit was 55 everywhere. And but anyway, I'm coming down I-5, and there's stretches of I-5 that are just as straight as an arrow. There's nothing out there, and so it was nighttime, and I'm coming up on these two trucks, and I was running about 75, 80 mile an hour, and I'm running up on these two trucks, and they were from the same company, and I went past the first one, in the fast lane, and I waved at him, and I got up next to the second one, and he looked over at me. And now, the thing about these old Peterbilts, especially 70s, 60s, the metal fenders on them would, as the truck got older, the rivets would loosen up on them and stuff like that, and they'd get to wobbling like this. And the faster you was going, the more wobble you'd get out of them fenders. And I mean, sometimes it looked like it's flapping wings in some of them. Old Thunder wasn't quite that bad, but she had some loose fenders on her, and so I got up alongside that guy that was leading, and he said, "Look at that old Peterbilt, man! It's probably doing all it can do to, So I got up on the radio and I hollered at him. I said, "No," I says, "this Old Thunder, she's a little long and toothed, but she still likes to run." I said, "Why don't you guys come on up here and run with Old Thunder?" And they said, "Oh, you don't want none of us. We got new trucks with big motors and tall gears, and we can really run." And I said, "Well," I said, "y'all come on. I'll stay with you as long as I can, at least." And so I let them come back around me, and we ran up to about 100, 105 mile an hour, and I'm trailing them too. And so I let them run that way, and they're talking crap the whole way on the CB. "Yeah, I thought she could run. I thought she could run." I said, "Well, takes her a little bit, And so finally, like I said, we was going 105, and I said, "Well, come on, let's go." And they said, "Oh, you can't catch us here, And so I swung out into the fast lane, and I went past the guy in the back again, and I waved at him again, and I got up there alongside that guy in the front, and I said, I thought y'all wanted to run." And they said, "Well, this is all we got." And I said, "Well, man, I don't even know why I'm talking to you guys then." I said, "Me and Old Thunder got to get these taters to LA. I said, "We got to go." So I still had another gear. That's for them old twin sticks. They had a double overdrive. When you'd push the stick up against the dash, towards the dash, that give you that double overdrive. And I still had that gear to go. And I let the guy watch me put it up there, and I just walked off from him. I'm probably running, I don't know, 115 mile an hour, maybe 120, something like that. And I just ran off and left them old boys with their new trucks. And me and Old Thunder got to LA in a hurry. But that's the story of Old Thunder. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Talk to y'all later. Have a good day.